Welcome to Saving Sweet William. This week we're going to be talking about the Greek tradition of whitewashing. Now, whitewashing is something that you see all over Greece. We live in the Ionian Islands here, which is where our villa is set in the beautiful island of Zakynthos, and whitewashing is a thing here. It isn't as prevalent as it is in islands like the Cyclades, where the buildings are just literally covered in that beautiful lime whitewash mixture. You do see whitewashing going on over here, and it's kind of essential because once or twice a year we get a whole dump of Sahara sand, which makes everything brown, orange. It doesn't look great. Now, as you can see, we chose to paint our villa this beautiful, well, what we think is beautiful, white and blue. The trouble is that all it takes is 6 months of not being here or not maintaining it, and then everything starts to look brown and kind of discoloured. So we're going to just go through a real modern, easy method of just keeping your buildings looking fresh and vibrant. So let's jump in. Now we're just going to start at this planter that we only rendered a couple of months ago, and it was just beautiful and white. As you can see, it's starting to get discoloured already. I mean, I've jet washed this down recently as well, but yeah, it still isn't looking as fresh as it could do, and that is literally just because a whole load of Sahara sand came and dumped itself there, and then when you get the condensation overnight, it kind of mixes with the sand, makes it into this kind of paste. It's not very pleasant. So what you really need to do is be jet washing it down lightly, constantly. But because we don't live here, and because we're not here all of the time to do these maintenance jobs, we end up having to do all of these things all at once. So this is going to be one of the projects I'm tackling. What I'm going to do is run you around and show you everything that we're going to be hitting in the video today. And right next to the planter that we recently rendered is this step that Joe painted last year. As you can see, it looks more like a light orange colour than white, but it was once a beautiful bright white, and we're going to bring that back into a beautiful bright white today. So why is white and whitewashing such a popular colour in Mediterranean countries like this? Well, you probably know the answer to that, and it's kind of an obvious one. It bounces all of that heat and light from the sun away from the building. It doesn't draw it in, and it helps to keep the buildings cool. I mean, set against the backdrop of a blue sky as well. I don't think there's any better colour, to be honest. I mean, I am a fan of using like bright colours on buildings, but I always come back to thinking, you know what, white looks the best, because when you've got a beautiful blue sky, particularly set against the backdrop of some olive trees, I don't think there's any better colour than white. So why else was lime used to whitewash buildings? Well, something that you might not know, lime is naturally antibacterial, so it was often used to stop disease clinging to surfaces and spreading throughout villages, which is pretty cool use of lime, if you ask me. Also, it was abundant, it's everywhere. It used to be cheap. I mean, building materials have got super expensive these days if you do any kind of DIY work, and if you're in the trade, you'll know how much they've gone up since 2020, and that includes lime. But it is still fairly affordable. It isn't as affordable as paint, and it isn't as simple as using paint. But yeah, lime has lots of benefits and lots of good things going for it. And you know what? Maybe one day we will get around to doing actual whitewashing with real lime, but for now we're going to go with the modern method of watered down paint. So obviously, as people splash around in the swimming pool, you get the drips coming down, but once they mix with the Sahara dust that I've been telling you about, you really do get this horrible orange. And this is our dwarf wall, which is actually the foundation of the house as well, that runs around the front of the house. And being a coastal climate, the erosion, the salty air has corroded it, and it's another one of those jobs that just needs annual maintenance. So let's get to it. If you've ever wondered why so many Greek houses are bright white, it isn't just for the postcards. Traditionally, they were coated with lime wash, slaked lime mixed with water and brushed straight onto the stone or plaster. It soaks in and creates a thin, breathable skin on the building.
White reflects a huge amount of sunlight, so on hot islands, this coating helps keep interiors noticeably cooler in the summer. Lime wash is also naturally alkaline, which gives it mild antibacterial and antifungal properties. So for generations, it was used not just on homes, but on farm buildings, courtyards, and even streets as a way to clean and freshen surfaces. In the late 1930s, during outbreaks of diseases like cholera, the Metaxas regime pushed widespread whitewashing as a public health measure because lime was seen as a disinfectant. Later on, colour rules, especially those in the Cyclades, fixed that blue and white look, and today, lime wash is still valued for being breathable, relatively eco-friendly, and giving that iconic matte white finish.
So here we've just got 1 part paint mixed with 1 part an equal amount of water. Just going to pour that into an old paint pot. I've got a real thick old brush, which is going to easily cover the area that I'm trying to work on quickly. So the idea behind this is just think of it like cleaning as well as painting. We've already got the paint on the walls, we've already got several layers of paint on the walls. We don't necessarily need to add another thick layer of paint over the top of what's there now. So this is like a way of cleaning it as well as giving it a thin layer of fresh paint that you can get done quickly, because you can't be painting your house, painting everything completely 2 coats of paint every single year. It's too expensive and it's too time consuming. Alright, let's go. I'm going to see how long this takes. 9:06 now. Alright, look, that took 8 minutes, that did, and look how much fresher it looks. Just, you know, a tiny bit of time can just make everything look much more vibrant again. Makes you feel good about being around the place. Yeah, I mean, I think it's an essential part of owning a property in a country like this. Okay, just coming to the end of this wall now. This one has literally taken 5 minutes, which is, you know, 0 effort, right? Particularly if you get up before the sun rises, or before the sun is peaking. It's only 3 minutes past 9 now. It's just about acceptable conditions to do manual work. Just about. Alright guys, so it took barely any effort, just a few minutes, but the swimming pool looks completely different now. Yeah, really happy with how this looks. A small recycling store. And bench looks a heck of a lot better just being brightened up, followed by this lovely bright white step. It just makes everything pop, doesn't it? The blues come out a lot more when the white looks nice and vibrant. And then our dwarf wall, which carries on all the way around the house, followed by another beautiful bright white step. And yeah, the whole house sitting on this lovely, beautiful white foundation. So guys, thank you all for watching. If you've got any tips for me for the future, did I use too much paint? Did I use too little paint? Should I have done anything differently? Do feel free to let me know. Thank you all so much for watching Saving Sweet William, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Bye bye bye.